people. We made it to the end of February, so happy Friday. It is the 28th of February. Welcome to TDA, the day after your favorite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by the culture. And I'm one of your lovely hosts for today, my own royalty.
They call me E-Man, the pro-black activist, TDA producer and news analyst, melanin jam-packed.
That's right. We got a surprise for you. Happy Friday. Morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. I've just realised I actually didn't practice my thing again. So yeah, but it's Saleh.
Yeah, you're pleased. Do you know walked in as he said it's
personal
Saleh?
trainer. He's back. Here's Johnny.
That's you.
It's not this nigga.
Yes, we're back. We're back and
You're gonna
better.
give me a heads up. Oh, this is why you wanted to have this stinky topic.
Do you know what?
Do you know so far there's no heads up.
At all.
I found it in real time.
Exactly.
I think it's a great topic.
Yeah. You got a job that you need to be at.
I think it's a
dear.
fantastic topic. Let's talk about it.
Oh dear.
I don't want to talk about it either.
No, but
Just kidding me. I was going for the fitness queen, you know.
discourse is good.
You always on the line.
Discourse is very good.
Anyway,
I'm trying to. Oh, it's okay.
it's all good. We are. It will be a great show, but it will be a great show in a timely fashion.
Oh, anyway.
I got Pilates, Brent and Iman on a secret mission.
11
We ain't even getting to that time.
Exactly.
We ain't even get. That's crazy.
To God be the glory.
We ain't even get that time.
Oh, to give it
We
to
would
God
not be here.
To God be the glory.
So yeah, how's everyone doing there? Happy Friday. Brent is here as well.
Blessed and highly favored, blessed and highly favored. Hello, everybody in the chat. Let me just
Morning,
do
y'all.
a roll call.
How's everyone
All right,
doing?
who we got? We got Davina Energy, Bimmy, Mr. Ashlows, 9 Ether, Bex, Dr. Amani, Amy Snow Globe, Akos A, Lynn M32, Lovely Honey, Ghana Greatness, SLM86, Abi Apia, Izzy Bambino, Adele. Who else have we got here? Antonia Hansen. We have Ahmed. We have, I think I said Ghana Greatness, Noreen. We got DCF Mooks and Kevin Thompson. Blessings, everybody. The Killy's here. He's sat right there. He's just a bit more melanated. Can you see him? He's here.
It's degraded.
You are a killing your own rights.
No, I'm joking.
It's like a different department
Great.
of killing this drug mate.
But Margs is where is he shooting off to again? Was it Mexico?
Did you say
Yeah,
Cancun?
Cancun.
I wanna go
Mexico.
Cancun,
He's on
actually.
tour, boy.
Margs is on tour.
Literally.
Yeah, he's trying to.
I've seen him once this year at the shoot.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Yeah, literally. I've only seen him once this year.
Yes, that's true. That means I've seen him twice,
Brent,
right? Yeah, I've seen him twice.
no,
But yeah,
nothing.
we move.
Can I have it? You know I'm thingy-less.
Hey, sorry, this is confusing. Emmanuel, how are you doing, sir?
I'm right, man.
Brother
Can't
of his own.
complain. Thank you.
Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
To God be the glory.
Assalamu alaikum.
I don't know what that means.
Have
Have you not seen that
There's
video?
that clip.
No, I haven't.
You
Oh, we
haven't?
played it
No.
here before.
Yeah.
Remember the man? There's a guy who went on stage, basically greeted everybody innit?
Yeah,
in Arabic, but he just completely messed
it's
up.
messed up.
Butchered it.
What did he say?
Assalamu alaikum.
Oh my gosh,
I don't know what he was saying or what language that was, but
it wasn't-
It was something.
something else.
something fair. All right, should we get into
Yeah, let me just I guess there's a comment or two on the Spotify.
what
I've been
happened?
ignoring it for a while. Shout out Belinda. She says, Brent, please never change. You make me laugh so hard. Every part of your personality is amazing. All you guys are amazing. Obviously, you don't really focus on that after she said what she said. But I love you too, Belinda.
We got Belinda.
Then Akua says, a crumb of pussy. Akuya. A crumb of pussy is such a bar. I'm definitely using that.
What?
You probably said that.
Me?
Yes, sounds like a bar.
Yeah,
You would say.
Korean pussy?
Yes.
A crumb.
Oh, a crumb of.
Yeah.
You said it like it was. I don't know why I thought you said it like. Oh, a crumb of. Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, that is my vibe. Yes, girl, use that.
You want all the crumbs.
I don't. I don't want no crumbs and no pussies. No, absolutely not. Thank you very much.
Estelle says, love the Paradise reference, Brent. Giggle, giggle, giggle. And then
Paradise.
Belinda says it's a show on...
Oh, I watched Paradise.
Isn't it a telenovela?
No,
My bad.
I watched Paradise.
Paradise is very nice.
That's
Something I would usually do, Brent.
Isn't that a LL Cool
You've
J
changed.
song?
Yeah, it is.
No, it's just because your face looks like it's brighty
Oh, it's
today.
because I made effort, and even at that, I was like, "Why am I making effort?"
You're
Look at
gorgeous.
that.
I love it. But your skin is just. Ugh. Anyway,
Wow.
I'm gonna take it to the Lord in prayer.
Girl, stop.
I want Gina's skin. Love it.
And Belinda says, I like how Brent won't engage with my comments when we both know we go together. That's okay though. All things.
This is
with
all from
God's timing.
Belinda.
No, I've said Estelle and I've also said
Oh.
Akuya.
Is this Belinda again though?
This is Belinda again.
You go together real bad.
Real bad.
She got a crush on you.
And you.
What you saying?
pushing
All
on
things
her.
in God's timing is worth waiting for.
Come
I'll
on.
call in.
Did she
when
say
I
that or you
take
saying
time
that?
Off. No, this I'm reading.
Yeah, you used to go back to saying Belinda said. Because I thought you were saying that when Gina
To be
said.
honest, if I'm not interrupted, you would know it's Belinda's talking. Sorry.
What?
to be quite candid.
Sorry.
To be frank.
Sorry, love.
To be frank, he's not.
Do you know what, actually?
Damn it.
I apologize for interrupting you, black man. Black king. I apologize,
you
King.
don't ever apologize.
I
Cool,
apologize,
cool, cool.
King. The words of Dr. Umar.
And then we have a comment from the YouTube community. Obviously, our main focus for interaction is normally live chat, so we seldom get these comments on YouTube, but times will change soon. Let me read it. Let me read it. It's quite lengthy, but I thought, seeing as you've taken the time to actually write it, it only makes sense for me to read it. Here we go. Okay. From Ahmed. He might be the Ahmed in the chat. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I love this show and have recommended it to my friends. You are
Big up you,
a
babes.
real one.
You're a real one.
Mhm. I don't expect you all to speak on topics and for me to agree with everyone's point, but 90% of the time, we're all on the same page. This might be the second time I've left a comment, and the first one was calling out E-Man. He offers a lot to the show, and I don't ever want him to think he needs to be silenced. Amen.
This man. Jesus couldn't silence it. They couldn't hold a placard.
Hey, Jesus can do anything.
Amen. Hallelujah.
His takes.
Hallelujah.
You have to do that twice.
Hallelujah. Third time.
Dr. Will will be proud. His takes always are thought-provoking and offer another path. Amen. But oh my Lord, alhamdulillah for Ramsey. What does that mean? God bless
Iman?
Ramsey?
Huh?
God bless
What does it
Ramsey?
mean?
No, praise be to Allah.
All right. For Ramsey?
Yes.
Like, thank
Oh.
God, thank
Thank God
Allah
for
for,
Ramsey.
for Ramsey's life.
All right, cool.
Thank God for you.
I'm not Palestinian, and this isn't because I'm a Muslim, but the whole Palestine-Israel issue is a human issue for me. So when I hear some of the takes that I've been calling out to be questioned by, Ramsey, I appreciate it highly. I understand Iman's angle, but not his point. I think a lot of this conflict would resonate more with people if it affected their own country. True. Again, I'm not Palestinian, but because I only view the injustice this topic always gets to me. Like you guys said, if Trump does good, it doesn't mean he should be bigged up because his wild antics outweigh that. I have the same feeling with this. I don't want to hear any line of questioning when people have been killed indiscriminately. Some of the questions being asked have no relevance. It's crazy to me where the focus is being put. Some of the questions being asked have no relevance. It's crazy to me where the focus is being put with some of the questioning when people have been kicked out of their own home and killed for the sake of it. Ultimately and regrettably, I don't have much hope. because people in general put a lot of thought towards Israel, and I'm not talking about this show. Amen. We ain't friends of that over here. The minute I saw the majority of the world siding with Israel, even with the antics, let me know everything. Cool. And then the follow-up, finished the episode, above comment aside, all-timer episode. 10 guest and banter. Come on, Ahmed. We love you too, bro.
Wake up, you babes.
And then ID 5711 says, Iman's laugh always kills me.
Yeah, Iman's got such a cheeky laugh. I know you got in trouble as a kid with that laugh. For sure.
I was very calm and, you know.
You were sent back to Ghana. We talking about?
What are
you talking about?
That's their heights.
Let's focus on the positives.
Would you actually come back?
I mean, I was visiting.
Was you for being naughty?
But you didn't know where his passport was.
Boy, I was thinking, haha.
You know you visit, but you don't know where your passport's
child
kept.
that lost the case against his parents.
Yes.
The other day.
Yeah.
I was literally looking to see if it's in the headlines. It's not, thankfully. But yeah. Well, not thankfully. So I wish it was in the headline. But do you remember that we talked about the guy? That kid? Yeah, man. He's got to stay. The judge said that's a good idea. I pray he does transform him, though.
Yeah.
I do think it will.
I hope he does.
I do think it
I think
will.
he's going to hate.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Do you
He's
know
going to
what's
hate his parents
interesting,
now,
though?
but he will love them.
I had a family friend, right, who it didn't.
It didn't help.
Oh, I
Really?
was, no. So close,
No.
close family.
What
friend,
age did they
yeah.
go?
Because if you're going at 18, it's
It
too
was
late.
it was
Way
teens.
too late.
It was
Yeah.
teens, but I don't know.
You
if
got to
it
get
was-
him in your 7.
No, yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it was, it was late. It was like I don't know if it was 18.
Oh, that's
but
not working.
No, I don't think it was that late.
Okay.
I feel like it was like
16.
secondary school, like yeah.
But like later
Yeah.
secondary school.
Yeah, but it didn't. Oh my
You got to get him in the
gosh.
first
He
3
went,
years,
yeah.
max.
And I remember he thought he was going on holiday, and his mum left him there.
That
right?
sucks.
And then he came, and he was bad breed, and like he's the only child in it, and so his mum's only son, and then he went, and then came back, and then went jail,
What?
and then it's so interesting, yeah, because then obviously I became a PO, right?
Yeah. His name came up.
No. He started when he came out.
Yeah.
Do you know what? No, so he did go like after. No, he went to Ghana as a teen.
Yeah.
Because when he went to jail, he did like I'd say he did about like 5-6 years.
What did
Yeah.
Didn't mind.
It was like
Mm,
yeah,
mm,
it
mm,
was
mm. I got
robbery, armed robbery.
Yeah,
and-
girl.
yeah, it was a lot. And
Gotta
so when
be
he came out, he came out on license, but he was reporting to my office.
Okay.
And so it was interesting because I was now seeing him, but obviously the last time he saw me, I was like a kid. I didn't see
And
him for
then
ages. So it was so awkward.
That's
Not
one of those things
awkward,
that
but-
no, but it's awkward for him for sure. It should
yeah,
be.
because
should
it
have
was
been.
like now I'm a grown adult and you're thinking
And it's like your opposite sides
yeah.
of life.
But then,
Sad.
but then, and he came out was
no.
on the straight. You know when you'd think, oh, you know,
You're on the straight and narrow.
no girl
You went back.
for murder,
Oh,
brother.
man.
So you upgraded.
Literally,
He's still in there.
of course he is. He's in life now.
Live.
Well, there. And it was. Do you know how mad it was for me? Yeah, because he came out, got a job, got a partner, had twins. Like, so I'm thinking, yeah,
not
like
the double.
life's back. You know what I mean?
Like
And-
you got back. You're back on track.
and his PO, like we would talk about him in it because obviously I've known him since I was
Yeah.
a kid and stuff in it. Like when I say family friend, as in like him and my mum are like that. We lived in the same estate.
really?
His block was next to mine. Like
That's
yeah.
sad, you know.
And then you know when you're minding your own business, and then I just thought
That's sad. That's just
murder.
yeah. You just
Yeah.
went. You just not even drugs.
So
Murder. That's mad, you know.
that taking him back didn't.
Wasn't that effective.
No.
I really hope for this boy it is though, because his parents like for your parents to go to court and do all these things they need to do. Kind of like he's a clever kid though, to have known like his rights and whatever. I hope he really pours that energy into doing something. Do you know what I mean? Into something that's more useful, into like his studying, whatever talent he might have. I really hope that it's different
What country?
because I can't
is it?
imagine Ghana.
Ghana.
Do you know what's
I
really
can't
interesting?
imagine what it's like as a parent having to do that.
The thing is, yeah, because of his age, he doesn't understand it. But Ghana's actually lit. Like it's not. You're not.
That's the thing,
The
yeah.
version you think you're going to
Yeah.
experience is no longer like. Do you get what I mean?
I'm sorry, but
Yeah,
it's not like you were back in our
Me
day.
getting sent back at the age of 15
Yeah.
is not the same as me getting sent
Yeah.
back at this, like, with how
Yeah.
it is now. You probably have a much better experience.
Did you ever live in Ghana?
as a child? I was born there.
So
But I
what?
came when I was like too free, so
Oh,
I don't
okay.
remember.
Okay.
It. But I used to go
Yeah.
back every single summer.
Okay.
But you know what it is as well? Like, because I feel like he just needs to, first of all, he needs to, obviously he was plotting how to get back here. So once he gets that out of his brain, he can then set into the school. You have a great time. I remember when I came here, I wanted to go back. I said, nah, I'm sorry. I want to go back and see my friends and just like, so I'm really hoping that he adapts and just gets over it. He'll definitely be angry with them, but
For a while.
yeah.
I went to school in Ghana for some time.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah. I went to school in Ghana halfway through
Voluntarily?
year 5.
Not voluntarily, but like,
well,
did you know you were going there to school?
I knew.
Okay.
I
fair.
knew. And I cried when my mum told me I was going to
Fair.
go there. And then I cried when she told me
You're
I was
coming back?
coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was amazing.
oh,
I'm saying.
It was amazing.
I was really.
Best
I
time
remember
of
when
my
I was so upset when I was like, I want to go back to my friends. Like, I just want to I want to go back to what I'm used to, what I know.
Even 6 weeks holidays, yeah. My mum was, when summer holidays.
That
ends,
last day of school, you're on the
after,
flight that night.
I'm there, and then the day before, I used to spend like the whole summer
Summer
holidays
there.
in Ghana. And obviously, I'd be upset going, but then I'd always cry coming back.
Coming
I
back,
never wanted to
yeah.
come back. Like, I just, do you know what I mean?
But I just love how much like little kids love. Like you see with your daughter when she goes to Nigeria, that they just love him back home. My niece and my nephew, when they go to Ghana, they just love it. Like it's just the best thing. I remember my niece one time, she was like, "Tell mum, like, can I just stay here and go to school?" I was like, "Get in the car, dad's waiting for you." Nah, it's so sweet, man. I love that. But I hope it does work out for him. I can't imagine as a parent, like feeling like you have no other options but to do that.
And then have to fight your
And
case
I
in
do-
court as well.
Can you imagine? But I'm glad the judge saw sense though.
Yeah.
Because I feel like sometimes in this country, they don't unfortunately, they don't always see sense in family court. Do you get what I mean? And it's not always the best things that's done for children that will actually have them living structured lives.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that the judge saw it the way he needed to and said, yeah, you need to stay there because it is mad.
That's a clever child, though.
Very smart.
He's going places.
Very smart. He reminds me of Tariq a little bit.
I'm not 100% sure because, I was speaking to my dad about it.
Yeah.
And he raised some points that most likely the strategy didn't come from him. It was probably the people that he was associated with here.
You think so?
Which was telling him.
Oh, yeah. It would have been, yeah.
No,
That's true.
obviously, but my thing is, even the fact that he
That he went
to the
through with
extent
it.
to go through with it at the age of 14. Like,
I think as well, like as soon as you get in touch with the consular or whoever he contacted with, I don't even think it's a thing of he went through with it. He contacted them and then they had a duty of care to investigate. into the matter.
Okay, yeah. I should remember we're giving him a lot of credit.
Yeah.
Anyway, boy, face your books if you're watching TDA. Love and
Oh, he's
light.
watching. Everyone watches, man.
Thank you very much. All right, should we get into our headlines?
Let's do it. All right, people. US President Donald Trump has been invited to the UK for a second visit
That would never sound right.
by the King. Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer used his trip to the White House to present Trump with the invitation letter from King Charles. Sir Keir said that the president's last state visit in 2019 had been a tremendous success and that the invite for a second visit was truly historic and unprecedented. Speaking to the reporters in the Oval Office after reading the letter, Trump said that he accepted the invite and that it would be an honor to visit the fantastic country. He added that King Charles was a beautiful man and a wonderful man. Traditionally, second-term US presidents are not offered a state visit and have instead been invited for tea or lunch with the monarch at Windsor Castle. But King Charles's letter proposed a meeting to discuss details of the state visit at either Dumfries House or Balmoral, both in Scotland, a country to which Trump has connections. Next headline, and the UK government is looking to Estelle Prison for ideas for ways to reduce reoffending and to bring down prisoner numbers in our already overcrowded jails. There's a scheme here that they would like to emulate, which gives inmates the chance to shorten their sentences by having a job while they're inside. Looking to this prison for inspiration might seem a curious choice to many, given Texas executes more people than other US states. But ministers say that by implementing schemes similar to the ones used here, over there in Texas, UK prisoners will be incentivized to gain qualifications, giving them more chances of employment once released. You know that amazing Burkina Faso president right now, Traore, yeah? Do you hear about how he's shortening certain prisoners' life, shortening their sentences? Sorry.
Yeah, you said like at the wrong time. It sounded like life.
By making them work the field.
That's
agricultural
good.
stuff. Yeah.
Be productive while you're in here.
He's really turned that country around, man.
That's really good, you know.
Telling you. And our last headline, the Gossip Girl and Buffy the Vampire Slayer star, 39 years old, Michelle Trachtenberg, was found dead at her home in New York City on Wednesday. An investigation into her death has been opened, but criminality is not suspected, is what police said, right? And in a post on Instagram, Princess Eugenie, thanked her for so many memories. She wrote, "Goodbye, special friend. You are so loved and missed. Thank you for so many memories of laughter and fun. You were so thoughtful and generous and so funny. My favorite was listening to you order food, always done with precision. So you got exactly what you always wanted." Eugenie previously lived in New York, and in 2013, she was seen attending a basketball game at Madison Square Garden with Trachtenberg. And that's it for the headlines.
All right, let's get into our What You Saying topic of the day.
All right, people. So, for today's topic of the day, to be fair, I could just leave it to Salah and Gina. So I'll just give you guys the alley. But I was minding my business, and I, found myself in Shade Bar, and then
the wind just blew you in there.
you know what I mean? And what I saw was a clip by the online fitness coach Bethany Lord.
Bethany J Lord.
Sorry, J Lord, right? And she was basically talking about her frustration of the lack of inclusivity of cultural foods in the fitness industry. So I said, oh, okay, cool. Let me bring it to you people. Do you feel like that's number one, true? But number two, is it on purpose? Is it on purpose that there's a lack of cultural foods put into people's diets and meal plans when they actually get like a coach and stuff? So, yeah. And is that having an effect on us overall, being here in the West?
I'm allowed the vegan to go first.
Vegan?
Not vegan, the keto king, sorry. The keto king.
He wasn't soft about that vegan. He said, what?
Oh, veganism is when you don't
You dare talk to me like that.
Sorry.
I don't know what she's talking about.
Okay.
Fair.
Yeah, I don't really know what she's talking about because at the end of the day, we have ingredients and you use ingredients to make food. So within the parameters of whatever you're following, you can still use you can still make your cultural foods. No one's restricting you. So maybe she's just airing that she doesn't eat cultural food. Who is she?
She's a fitness coach.
Yeah, no, but like, where's she from?
She's from here. She's mixed.
Like, okay, like, so...
She's like Caribbean.
Caribbean. Yeah, so maybe she's just saying that she doesn't eat cultural food at home. But that doesn't mean...
She's saying that even for her client, she adds in like, I can sort fish, she does it, right? But she notices that in the fitness industry as a whole, there's a lack of that. You know what I'm saying? She's frustrated with the lack of that.
Do you know what it is? I hear... It's interesting, yeah, because I guess... I don't think it's intentional. We're in the West. Do you understand what I mean? So, for example, yeah, when you're in Africa and you're talking about like diets and stuff, yeah, you're not telling them to eat broccoli and stuff like that because broccoli's not grown in Africa. Like when I went to Ghana and I stayed there for 6 months and I wanted to eat broccoli, and I went to my supermarket and broccoli, which was 4 cents, was 9 quid. I put that down there and I went to get like spinach, cabbage, like vegetables that are homegrown.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Because obviously if you're going after things that are imported, it's going to have a crazy like spike. So do you get what I mean? It's like in the West, they're going to promote what is in the West.
What is their culture?
And I understand that the West is multicultural, but I think what we need to realize is this isn't our home. Like, do you get what I mean? And there's so many different cultures. So is the expectation for every single Romanian, Spanish, Ghanaian, because remember, just because we're black, we don't all eat the same thing. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So is that expectation for the industry to like, I don't think it's realistic is basically what I'm saying. And I also think like everyone has common sense and a brain and sometimes we actually need to use it. I feel like everyone's got really lazy and doesn't want to do their own research. I said this the other day because someone asked me like, if you're going to give advice to someone who's new in the industry, what would you tell them? I said, go and do your own research. It's not every day go and follow what someone online is saying. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
The internet is there. The information is there. You can go, I've seen people go and chat GPT and say, I'm Nigerian. I want to have a healthy diet that includes my food culture. It gave a whole list of cultural foods and how to prepare it to make it healthy. Do you understand what I mean? So it's about going the extra mile. Whilst I understand what she's saying, I don't think I don't think you can blame it on the whole industry.
Yeah.
Especially being the fact that the industry is mainly in the West.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Like, you can decide as a person to figure out what you want to eat. And like I said, it just means you have to do a bit more extra work. You have to calculate, I guess, if you're calorie counting, you have to go and do the research to figure out how many grams are in whatever food that is you want to eat. Do you know what I mean? And if you don't want to do it because you're being lazy, then you're gonna go the other way. But if you really wanted to eat your cultural food, you can make it happen. Do you get what I mean?
And that's what I wanted to.
That's just how I see it.
That's what I agree with everything you said. That's what I was gonna say, because I feel like sometimes people that live in the West, like, we quickly make yourself a main character. Personal trainers that are in Nigeria, that are in Ghana, that are in Sierra Leone, they're not, the food plan they're giving people incorporates their cultural food.
Yeah.
And like Gina said, there's so many cultures in the UK. Yes, this isn't our home, but more importantly, our culture is not their culture. Like, so why would if you go to, I don't know, a David Lloyd and you get a personal trainer there, why would they have a meal plan or nutrition plan that incorporates my Nigerianness and me being Ghanaian and me being from Senegal? Like, why would they do that? So it's what Gina said, it's about it's just do your own research. But also as well, you will find that personal trainers back home, there's whole cookbooks. There's so many food bloggers and food people that, like, I guess food bloggers, food vloggers or whatever, that do healthy versions of all the foods that we eat. There's healthy ways to make efforiro. There's so many healthy ways to do these things. And there's so many people that do these things. And that's why I feel like the main characterness of people that live in the West, it's just irritating sometimes, because you say things and without meaning to, you discredit everybody else that's doing the work to make sure this information is available. If she had done her research, even in this country, I'm very sure that there will be people who have ebooks or actual physical books of healthy recipes from, like, the Caribbean, healthy African recipes. Even Mo Chunks. See, I watch her on YouTube and stuff. It's got she's got the I think it's a Mo Chunks talk show, whatever. I remember when she was dieting, she's Nigerian and stuff, and she was like eating healthily and everything. I remember there was I think she had an ebook or something of, like, healthy foods, and she was showing on the YouTube channel.
I've even got an ebook called The Healthy
Girl.
Afro-Caribbean Alternative.
Girl.
So my point is, sorry,
exists.
I didn't mean to cut you.
That's
I
all
think,
right.
like, the thing is, I don't think, from what I understand, from watching the clip and stuff, and obviously I follow her, like, she's like a mutual in the industry. I think it's just more saying, like, people shouldn't be scared. I think the angle she was coming at is
That's
more,
exactly it,
people shouldn't be scared to eat their cultural foods, because a lot of the time, you're demonized. When you think about eating your traditional foods, it's a big no, right? But I think it's mainly based on how our food is prepared. It's not the actual ingredients themselves. We fry a lot of our foods are deep fried. Like, it's not necessary. Do you understand what I mean?
The oil?
It's the preparation and the stuff that we put in the food, but it's not the actual ingredients themselves. Do you understand what I mean? So
I would beg to differ on that, though, but then that's because I am keto.
Is that, that's
So
I don't want to cut you, because I want to actually go to that point.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to jump into what you said, Gina. That obviously she wasn't criticizing our food necessarily, innit? But more so, just like you said, like Esther was saying, the industry doesn't have that, and how can we expect that? But even for us, as in the fitness people, right, who've got clients and stuff that do, incorporate those foods into the meal plans and stuff. It's always best to look for alternative in how you cook it. Hence, mentioning the whole what's that thing called, the air fryer and things of that nature.
Yeah.
But I did want to say though, her views aside, back to our cultural foods. Like you said, there's healthier ways to cook certain things.
Yeah.
But not everything, right? And this is why I want to bring back to what you just said, Sally. Yeah. Obviously, you're a keto guy.
Yeah.
So you don't care about none of the carbs and stuff, right? But like Black Rob mentioned, he said akara is a good source of protein. But look how it's made.
I was thinking about it this morning.
But
as
look
well.
how it's made, right? You know what I'm saying?
Balance. Fry it.
You know what I'm saying?
what is akara?
It's bean cake. The translation is bean cake, and it's basically beans.
Okay.
Yeah, but like African beans.
Yeah.
And then you blend it and add peppers or whatever you want to add into it, and then you fry it basically.
Okay,
It's literally like a bean cake.
Deep fry.
Okay.
Well, it depends. See what I'm saying?
floats.
Because so once you put it in there, it floats.
Yeah.
So when I do it, and then if you drain it as well, and there's ways around this. Ways around it.
You drain it.
And puff puff as well, and all them things there.
Oh, I love it.
So, are some of our foods just not good.
Do you know what it is? No,
fitness,
hold on,
in
hold
terms
on.
of fitness.
But that's with everything though. Like, are you being like, let's be for real here,
100%,
yeah?
yeah.
It doesn't, like, what you're saying is not you, but it's like
Yeah,
a dumb argument
Mm.
because I eat ice cream. Right?
Yeah.
There's no other way to eat ice cream. Yes, you can have frozen yogurt, you can make it healthy, but brother, if I want the taste of the dairy in the ice cream,
I'ma have
I'm gonna
that.
eat ice cream.
Yeah,
Do
100%.
you understand what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
If I
Why
was,
should you do that?
if I no, but it's like I'm not trying to. Sometimes you don't have. I'm not trying to find a healthy alternative to
And that's
puff
my
puff.
thing.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
that's
sure.
my
Like,
thing, Gina.
if I want to eat puff puff, I'm eating puff puff. But
That's
I'm
my
not eating puff
thing.
puff every day.
I don't want a
for
vegan
breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
pancake mix puff puff.
The key word here for me is balance.
Yeah,
But-
100%.
Do you know what I mean? Like
100%.
I don't believe in.
And that's what Belinda said yesterday.
Yeah, I haven't got the energy for extremism in it. It's like sometimes just balance in it. And again, I live by the 80-20 rule anyway. If 80% of my diet is good, I can allow the 20% to, do you know what I mean? But like I said, it's not like, I'm not going to now go and Google a healthy alternative to puff because you have to get the taste
Sister.
of puff puff, it needs to be fried.
And I said
it
you've
can't
got-
be shallow
yeah.
fried. It's just
Exactly.
not gonna,
It's just
needs
not gonna
to
happen.
float
It's
Yeah.
go-
like a boat.
Thank you very much.
It ain't gonna work.
It's
Do
not
you get what
gonna
I
work.
mean? So
But yeah.
yeah, so it's like it's not. I'm not saying all our food is healthy because not all Western food is healthy. Not all,
one.
like nothing.
Yeah, at all.
I would
Bangers and
argue
mashing.
majority of the foods that majority of people eat is unhealthy.
But you know what it is as well?
And it's not because people are trying to eat unhealthy foods. It's because of genetic modification and selective breeding. Hundreds of years of this. Because if you look at a banana, if you look at a potato, a carrot, how they are supposed to be when like the actual versions that God put on this earth, they didn't. So the reason why I stay away from carbs completely is because I don't think there's a problem with the potato that God put on this planet. But when you go to the shop and you buy that potato,
It ain't the one God put.
that's weird. That's strange.
Can I just quickly ask you? Like, I get it, yeah, because obviously when you look up, when you because right now I don't know what else you want from me.
No, because you do this all the time, innit?
Lean. Oh dear.
Nice throw me off.
Sorry.
You know, like when you look at like historically, like how food was like farmed and stuff back then to now, like and even with stuff like how a lot more younger people are getting cancer and stuff like that. Like
Yep.
you can tell, like it's all based on that.
Type 2 diabetes used to be called delayed onset type 2 diabetes. It was only common or it was only appearing in people over the age of 80. Now we're getting people in the ages like teenagers are getting
It's
type 2
mad, you
diabetes,
know?
which is crazy. It was literally understood. It was something like dementia. Right now, tomorrow, if teenagers started getting dementia, and that's the direction that we're going.
But I just wanted to ask you though, because you made you spoke about like modifications and stuff, yeah. But see, I would understand that process if you were telling me you were like you didn't eat meat. So not only like you know how because for me, okay,
No,
but-
they tamper with
genetic
the animals
modification
too.
and selective breeding.
okay, because for me it's like it's even in the it's in it.
Everything.
Do you know how I process it? It is in everything. So right now I'm better off if I'm trying to like survive. I should just have air.
No, wait, it's
Girl,
in
which air?
everything. It's in everything.
'Cause
However,
even that air.
Because even that air.
wait, it's in everything. However, in meats, in fish, in chicken, although they've also done especially genetic modification because I think it's more prevalent in meats and animals. But
Than
when-
carbs, which is
yeah,
why
yeah.
which
However,
is why I'm interested
wait,
that that's your
yeah,
argument.
no, but let me land. Because when you eat meats, when you eat chickens, when you eat these things, it doesn't spike your insulin levels and your glucose levels in the same way that carbs do. And literally, right now, 170,000 people every single year are dying from metabolic syndrome and type 2 diabetes.
What is
So-
metabolic syndrome, please?
It's basically heart disease. So right now, 70,000 people per year are dying from smoking. Now we've got campaigns everywhere, all over the country. They put it smoking kills, blah blah blah. However, the carbohydrates which are spiking people's glycogen levels, that
killing.
is a larger killer, much larger, but we overlook it, and people are profiting. Ridiculously, everyone's profiting. The food industry's I honestly think it's been done by design because Oh wow.
Here
Okay, we
go.
started.
You didn't even take no time.
Okay, in I think it was 1955, the Ministry of Health set out to solve the problem of obesity in the UK. At the time, the obesity rate was around 3%. They said, and at the time before
that was a
that,
problem.
yeah, there was a problem, and they said, you know what, we need to solve this problem, and people were getting 50% of their diets, majority from fats, and then everything else was protein and carbohydrates. They said, nope, we've got a problem, change it. Start getting 50% of your diet from carbohydrates. Since then, now it's like, I think the obesity rate is in the range of 46%. 44 to 46%
In the UK.
in the UK.
That's mild, you know?
Yeah, and that is just for for type 2 diabetes. 40% of the people over the age of 50 years old in this country currently have developed type 2 diabetes and have been diagnosed. There's so many other people that are walking around who haven't yet been diagnosed. So we've got a massive, massive problem. And the Ministry of Health is continuing to tell people, eat more carbs. And it is literally science. Like, it's a step-by-step process. You eat carbs for a prolonged period of time in your life. You become insulin resistant. You have high glycogen levels in your body. And now your body is unable to break it down. And that is literally walking around with a high level of sugar in your body. And sugar is actually, it's poisonous to the body.
Are you talking about extremes though? Because surely...
No. I would say, yes, we are talking, I'm talking about an extreme that has been normalized. Because waking up and having a bowl of cereal, having maybe a sandwich for lunchtime, and then a plate of rice for dinner, that is what we think is normal. But that is the extreme. So they've normalized the extreme. And then this is because 50% basically of people are developing type 2 diabetes. And this was a thing that was not the case.
You know what?
Like 50, 70 years ago.
Which I understand you, but I think also what we need to put into context is affordability. Carbs are like so cheap in comparison to protein.
Yes.
Which is why... Like, do you see what I mean? Like,
yes,
which is why it's now more a thing. Like,
however, even with that point, when you eat carbs, you eat more. So,
what do you mean you eat more?
You eat more.
Yeah, but that's because, again, it's because protein is so expensive that people can't.
Yes.
People are unable to fill their bowls with more protein than carbs.
But
Carbs
when
is a
you
cheaper
eat-
option.
Yeah, it's cheaper, but it's cheaper, but with carbs, let's say you're eating 3 times a day.
Yeah.
Let's say it's a £5 meal 3 times a day, just for argument's sake,
Just
numbers.
okay, yeah.
So that's £15 a day. If you're just eating protein and vegetables, you'll eat like once or twice a day. You get it?
Okay,
So
good.
No,
Keeps you
wait.
full of all.
How?
Are you saying
because
just
you
less
don't get
satiated?
as hungry. Exactly. You stay satiated for longer. 100%.
I don't.
Well, no, but have you ever tried keto
I
properly?
have.
How long did you try it and how did you do
I
it?
can
I
ask
haven't done
Gina
it.
if she's ever
I've
tried.
done everything.
No, no,
Like,
no, and
legit-
how-
Gina was in a
Let me tell you how
little
extreme I was. Yeah.
thingy, yeah.
I even had the keto strips to check if I was in ketosis.
Okay,
I was
In fact, I've got some in my bag.
I was doing the strips to check
Yeah,
if I was
yeah.
in ketosis. I was doing this thing properly. Like,
Yeah, so what were you eating,
done
that
it.
sort of thing? And were you having enough fats? Because keto, you need
no,
to
I
be
know,
having...
of course. I know.
Yeah,
I know the whole like.
So I can't believe he's asking Gina this. Sorry.
Why?
Well,
Because I'm
these
like,
are questions
of course
that-
she has.
No, because
No, no, but-
I wouldn't speak on things. I don't speak on things that I don't like. I haven't. Do you know what I mean? I'm not gonna
Yeah,
give
that you haven't
opinion.
tested and tried
I'm
and
not
stuff
gonna
like
give
that.
an opinion on something that I haven't thingied. Lockdown mainly, to be fair. So,
But like, still, I'm still interested. Like, what were you eating? How many
so
times a day? That
mainly
sort of thing.
it was chicken. If not chicken,
Okay, like I would say even like, but because I coach people on keto, first of all, chicken is a good source of protein. However, I definitely would say that if you're eating like people in the Inuit people or the Inuit people in Alaska and those sorts of places, they were eating like just living off birds for a while. And they were starting to
call
get
them birds?
birds
just-
and all these kind of
because they are
animals.
birds, though.
And they were starting to develop rickets and stuff because chicken doesn't have that much fat in it. The fat content is low. So okay, fair enough. It's good to have chicken every now and then. However, you need to make sure.
So what do you eat on keto then?
I was eating
What's
wings.
the better protein?
So a much better source of meats and fats would be red meats.
Yeah,
and then
but I
even
don't-
with that,
but then they tell you not to have too much red meat though.
yeah, well, they say so many things.
But this is my point though. This is exactly my point. Like there's do you know what I mean? It's like
You
it's
can't
preference,
win.
and for me, I'm not a big red meat person in it. So I'll dabble in the occasional mince and lamb. Yeah, I don't like steak.
And then even with those mince and lamb, because now in the shops they're selling all this reduced fat.
No, obviously I'm gonna get the full fat version.
Yeah.
Sally, I was doing it for free. And the thing is, for me, it's not like I was completely against it. Yeah, I just think it wasn't realistic.
It's not
it wasn't
sustainable.
I know that I couldn't not do it for the rest of my life. And what used to annoy me is like, for example, like I might just want to just. Let me not even call it cheat because I don't even like using those terms because it's about balance, right? So let's just say it's a weekend or like I fancy something, and now I'm like, oh my God, it's gonna kick me out of ketosis, and then it just becomes this really straining
You're
thing,
just
and then I got
obsessed
to
with it
start
now.
again to get back into. I thought you see all of that. It's internally it's causing me too much stress. So I just
Are you constantly in ketosis?
I
I want to know your ketosis streak.
Yeah, more or less. I think someone asked me this the other day. Actually, I think I probably eat carbs around, or depending. Like if okay, I went to Uganda recently. I was visiting family. It was impossible.
You can't avoid
You
it.
can't say no. You can't say
can't
no.
avoid it.
But probably like 6 to 8 times a year. Like I don't really
6 to 8 times a year.
Christmas, I eat stuffing. I love stuffing. I can't lie.
So that's your
stuffing,
carbs?
gravy. Yeah. Yeah. I don't eat carbs often.
That's wonderful
all.
because you're in a
And-
good mood.
No, but you see, this is the thing because without carbs, they've lied to you in thinking that you need carbs for energy.
But does this work for women's bodies though?
Yes. My mum's been in ketosis for longer than me.
Yeah, but like with your mum, respectfully, but how old is your mum?
My mum is
Because like if, for example, she's gone
50.
through like menopause and stuff, like then fair. But if it's pre that, I would imagine is more difficult.
and do you know
I
what?
wouldn't say so.
Do you know what it is? There's people I know, yeah. So the reason why I even got into it is because there was a girl that I knew and she was like really serious about it.
Yeah.
And she even coached me, yeah. Like when I was going through that period. So I had a coach.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I was
Serious.
serious about it, yeah. Had an accountability person, right? And I watched her do so amazing. And now, like I've literally watched, and let me not even lie, there's too many people I have on my socials, yeah, whose identity was keto at some point in their life. And I've watched them yo-yo the hell out of
and I
women.
think
Yeah.
And that's also why
I don't think it's the same
I
for
just
women.
was like, this is long. It's too, like the yo-yoing is just not realistic. Like,
Yeah.
'Cause I
I don't
naturally
want that.
yo-yo.
Do you see what
So-
I mean? So, and I've watched them, and now both of them are now just back to just, do you know what? I'm just gonna find balance and something that works because they found it too restrictive, and when it's too restrictive, like it just didn't work for them. But
Okay.
it did. It worked until it didn't. If you get what I mean.
I think so. For me,
But it's so funny because my aunt has lost probably over 100 pounds from keto,
okay.
and she looks. My auntie, she's lost so much. Like it's
That's not what got your attention.
She's lost 100 pounds. She's lost so much weight. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, and she's like shaved like 15 years off her. Like she is
Girl,
in
like-
such good shape.
Pick up auntie.
And she's still doing it.
Yeah, and
Like she still does it. But I find it interesting that now it's like if she wants to cheat, she'll buy tablets to bind her carbs. And you see all of that. See all of that stuff.
Nah, you see.
But
I'm
you know
like,
what?
what's the-
But that's now unhealthy though.
But this
Yeah,
is what I'm
yeah.
saying. This is
I
what I'm
agree with
saying.
that.
Oh, I'm gonna have a bowl of watches, so I'm going to.
No,
I'm gonna have a carb binder.
Big up
I'm
auntie there. That's
girl,
lit.
Sorry.
No,
But-
if her transformation is insane.
Wait,
got
one
comment.
thing I would say though with the like the yo-yoing, I think I've been blessed in the fact that my motivation to do keto and stay
Yeah.
on keto isn't purely just for looks
Okay, fair.
or physique. My motivation is the fact that I've got my mum, which we've had loads of conversations about it, and not just that, I've done research into why am I doing this, and I genuinely believe that the food corporations, big food and big pharma, have done this by design in order for us to become sick. Because, okay, fair enough, you might do keto and then you lose weight and then you think, okay, why am I doing this? Why am I continuing to do it? The reason why I believe everyone should be on keto, and not just that, but the ketogenic diet is the natural diet for humans, is because it is making us sick and killing us by the masses.
But then question though, so you think that the being on keto diet is the way our bodies were designed, that's the diet we're meant to follow?
Yes, but because when you're on the ketogenic diet, you become fat adapted.
But then what happens then?
So are you telling
think
me
about
that
people
back
back
in
home.
the day,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I am saying,
But I'm not
back
saying back in the day
home.
in West. I'm talking about back home.
like back home,
Yeah.
Because our
because-
foods.
Let me, for example, you see my dad, my dad's 85, and if you see my dad, like it will blow. I don't think you will understand. It will blow your mind when you see like my dad does not move, behave. He even the other day called me and was like, "I want to sign up to the gym." Like, nigga, you 85. What do you want in the gym?
Big up him.
Oh, my knees are hurting me because you're 85. yeah, but
No, if he strengthens the...
no, I get it. But my point is, my dad has eaten carbs. Do you know the carb my dad's eaten? Green banana. He has that every single, like he's eaten green banana. I feel like if I was to cut him open, he would bleed
out.
green banana.
Yeah.
Like my dad's af. He only eats yam and like hard food. I've never seen my dad eat rice. He only likes hard food. Yeah, and like when I look at how strong he is, I just even think, wow, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and he's not sick. He's not. Do you know what I mean? Like, and he's been around for many, many years. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't.
I think what it is so back home, okay, like I said,
Hey, that lives here, no?
Yeah.
the foods that we eat, especially when it comes to the carbs, they have been genetically modified. And not just that, but they have been, we've done selective breeding to make them larger.
Wait, so when you say carbs as well, do you mean fruits and veg as well?
Yeah, definitely fruits and veg, more fruits and veg, because if like
Wait, we shouldn't eat fruits and veg.
So you don't eat fruits and veg?
the fruits and veg that we have in the shops is not what God put here.
Do you eat fruits and veg?
No, sometimes I have berries.
So where
and
do
I
you get
tell
your fiber
myself,
from?
Who said we need fiber?
So do you poo? Because
Of course I do.
Because
of course I
right
do. And
now-
you
Regular.
regular that. Huh?
Are you regular?
Yeah, and not even just that, but it's before I started on the
She just said, "Do you
ketogenic diet. But before I started on the ketogenic diet, I used
because
to.
again, when I did keto, my bowel movements were not. Do you know what I mean?
Wait. Let me tell my little graphic story. So before I was on the ketogenic diet, I used to spend ages on the toilet.
Like waiting for it, some drop.
Yeah,
Okay, fair.
and that sort of thing. And now I'm in and out, and it's quick, and there's a lot less waste. This is another. no. This is another like clear.
It's like a toilet ad. Toilet
No,
ad.
it's almost like a clear indication to me because okay, if any process in life, if there's loads of waste, what does that mean? That means that it's not efficient. When you stop eating carbohydrates, you would be eating like the same amounts to keep yourself sustained, and I still run and I do 20 Ks and all these kind of things. But when I go to the toilet, there's a lot less waste. What does that mean? My body is actually using a lot more of the food that I'm consuming, and it's not throwing it away. But with the carbohydrates, a lot of it is not actually absorbed
waste,
by
so
your
then,
body.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
there's so much waste.
Is that what they've told you?
But one could.
It's what I've seen.
No, because you talking about
It's what I've seen from other people.
No, because
as well.
you talking about waste and stuff. It's like, but if you were on the flip side, if I was to not have bowel movements, the argument can't be, oh, it's because my body is not throwing it away and it's using all
Exactly,
the energy.
yeah.
and
No,
stuff,
but
which is
I'm
why
not
it's being
saying I'm not
consumed.
having the bowel movements.
I'm saying less.
Yeah, no, I'm saying I'm still having the same amount of bowel
same-
movements,
yeah,
like
but
once a
less
day.
is-
But yeah, less is passing through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But one could then argue maybe your body's just not efficient at getting rid of everything it should do.
You should be getting
What do you
rid
mean?
of.
Because it could be retaining certain things.
Retaining what, the nutrients?
No,
But
some of the-
because
some of the-
and this is a fact. And everything. No, wait. I want everyone.
Yeah.
I don't want anyone to take my word for anything I say.
Oh,
But
don't
just
worry, we're
listen.
not.
Yeah, no. Okay. I just want you to listen to what I
Everyone
say
should
and
apply
take
with
it,
them.
You didn't have
and
to
take
worry
it as a
about me.
prompt and go and do your own research.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
100%. Use
Because
wisdom.
yeah, do your own research. Wait, sorry, what was the thing about the waste?
That your body could just be retaining.
Meats and what's it called? meats and vegetables are a lot more nutrient dense than carbohydrates. It's a fact. It's I'm not lying. Go search it up. Rice, potatoes, all these things. A lot of it is like it's filler foods, and it's so cheap as well. Which is why this is why the what's it called, the companies are happy to sell them. And like even when you go to restaurants and blah blah blah, they give you free chips, free bread, blah 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 blah, and they give you these things a lot of the time at the beginning of your meal because why? It's going to give you a spike, which is going to lead to a crash, so that you actually buy more food. It's all a way of I think governments are happy for people to eat carbohydrates. Why? Because if people are eating carbohydrates, they're going to be eating more in the day, so that means that's more transactions. More transactions, more tax. Then the food companies are happy because carbohydrates are addictive. Like a lot of people, I coach people on keto. When they come to me, they say, I can't stay away from, I can't see myself staying away from ice cream or this or that or McDonald's. I really like it. Then they start following the diet. After 2 to 3 weeks, they start telling me, you know what? My cravings have completely gone. Completely gone. I don't think that majority of people actually like carbohydrates. I don't think people like ice creams. I don't think people like sugars. I think it is an addiction, because the same way how an alcoholic will say that, I really like alcohol. No, you would say you're addicted. And once you come through that withdrawal phase, then you will see that, okay, it was an addiction all along. I don't actually want it anymore.
You know, the thing is, that I have two issues here. One of the issues is I feel like I hear your point and everything you're saying makes sense. But I feel like it's also dependent on the individual, right? First point. You mentioned that the whole insulin resistance is going down, sort of all that sort of stuff, yeah? But aren't you potentially just swapping one problem for another? So yes, you're leaving out the carbs and all that stuff. You don't have the insulin problems, right? The spikes and all that sort of stuff. Fantastic, right? But then the issue that you have with all the chemicals that's being pumped into the meat that you're eating, isn't that just another thing that you're getting now in a higher concentration that your body now has to deal with? So the cancers and all these other things that come later in life because of the high amounts of red meat and animal protein that you're having. That's number one, yeah? And number two, the other thing I want you to address is similar to what Gina was saying. It's almost as though you're saying the way Africans have been eating for thousands of years is just wrong. And I don't see how that's possible.
No. I'm not saying that the way they're eating is wrong. So the foods have changed. So back then...
Who's genetically modifying foods back home?
No, it's not genetic modification. It's the selective breeding.
Okay,
to make it sweeter, to make it larger, to make it grow faster. So that... And these things, it's not just back home. It is a global thing, because the second anyone in the world goes and finds out, you know what, I can grow this yam, or even if in America or in, I don't know, Mexico, wherever, they find out, you know what, I can actually grow this yam faster and it's going to be sweeter, blah, blah, blah. That seed is going to find itself in all of the farms around the world eventually that are growing that product, because as a smart, wise farmer, you're not thinking, oh no, but I want people to eat the natural thing. You're thinking, okay, I've got this same amount of land, and I need to feed my kids.
Yeah.
So
how am I going to? Sorry.
Where'd you buy your meat from?
The butchers.
Which butchers?
There's a.
As in, do you
Like,
ask
do
them
you
where
go
they
to an
sourced
organic?
it?
Do you get your meats from like an organic?
Yeah.
Like,
I
organic
tried
butcher.
to. I tried to.
but
Not all the time.
But majority
I
of the
tried
time,
to.
your food
Yeah.
is from a normal butcher's.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so this is my thing. It's the same thing, because you can go to when you go to the butcher, you know that the meat has been injected. Like, you see it, you cook the meat. There's bare liquid coming out. Do you know,
Yes, but I
again-
definitely think it's like
potato.
at the end of the
one
day.
problem for the
no,
other.
But at the end of the day, the number one killer in this country right now is the type 2 diabetes and metabolic disease.
Do you know what I think the issue is, though? Do you know what I think the number one killer is?
What?
Just lack of portion control. Even when we think about African foods and
In
stuff.
fact, I'm happy you've said this.
Don't sit up. 'Cause I feel like even when I think about like African, I feel like the issue with African foods, because again, people back home, they eat these things, they like, do you know what I mean, they live
Strong,
long, they're
lean muscle.
strong.
Yeah.
Exactly. However, though, I think it's more of a portion control situation. I think also as well, I grew up hearing that we need to eat 3 times a day. You don't necessarily have to. You know what I mean? You don't have, because you don't necessarily have to.
100%,
Do you get me?
yes.
So again, it's
That's true.
it's feeling like you must eat 3 times. You must eat 3 square meals a day.
Yep.
That's
and
not
then,
healthy.
And then the portion that you're having for the 3 square meals, again, protein's so expensive, carbs is not as much. So you have the proteins there, and then you kind of fill up the plate essentially with the carbs.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the issue.
In fact, there was a episode quite a while ago where we lightly touched on this topic. I was on the phone, and you asked me about the rates of type 2 diabetes back home in Africa. And I did my research into it. And at face value, when you look at right now, if you're to research the rates of type 2 diabetes in Africa, it comes up as probably something like 20%, which is much lower. But then when you start looking into this figure, you'll find that it's only around 40% of people within Africa. I think I was looking at a specific country anyway. But they said 40% of the people have access to hospitals.
Okay, so
So that 20%,
Yeah.
So and then so really and truly, the problem is much larger. And yeah, we like to think that.
I don't want to cut you, but one could say, but then the figure could be far less. You know what I'm saying? Because if for example, people are eating natural foods that they grow in themselves, they don't have the money to buy the stuff in the big supermarkets in Accra Mall and all these other new places that they're importing the food from the West. It's all tampered with.
Yeah.
Maybe the issue won't be exacerbated in the way you think it would be.
With that, I would just say that, especially if you're of ethnic descent, we can go and we can look at all these statistics, but just do a common sense check. With the aunties and uncles that we have in our families, go and ask them, find out, because I know for a fact that type 2 diabetes and metabolic syndrome is a big problem. Like within my own family, within our community. Like we do say that, okay, yes, like at the end of the day, majority of the people that are actually living and like healthy and stuff are the people that okay, there are out there like examples like your father, but I would say that's few and far between, because I was shocked when you said that about your father being 85 and being active and all this. He sounds like an anomaly, because if we go and we look at our families and our aunties and uncles, okay, let's go and we can look at stats, but look back home in your house. Is that what you see? Or is it not the case?
But do you not also think it's linked to movement as well, though? Because people
Yeah,
don't move.
that's what I was
Now,
saying.
I'm happy you said
People
that as well.
don't move. My
Because
dad
Active.
walks loads. Like he's a walking human being.
I'm very
don't
happy.
know
you
where to
mentioned
go.
that. I'm
Like-
very happy you mentioned that point, because there's a guy called Tim Noakes. Tim Noakes is a South African marathon runner. He's been running marathons all his life. He's now over the age of 50. And for like in his years of practice, they've been doing like carb loading to prepare for their runs and all these kind of things. And he found that over the age of 50, he was developing type 2 diabetes, and all his colleagues in the same age bracket were also developing type 2 diabetes. And the reason is, you can run around the world as many times as you want, but at the end of the day, if you're consistently spiking your insulin and having those crashes, you will become insulin resistant. No matter how much movement, you can do all the moves for everyone in the world, but you cannot out-exercise becoming a bad diet and
of course.
becoming insulin resistant.
Yesterday, Belinda said a lot of the time when you're eating your carbs, the best way to have carbs anyway is to have it with some protein, because it kind of reduces that spike. Yeah.
Yes.
And I noticed that back home, like she even gave an example. You buy your
You have a roasted plantain, you have it with groundnuts.
you know what I'm saying? You buy your street burger, Accra and bread. You know what I'm saying? Everything's
right?
kind of, it's like we just know how to do certain things, right? But here we don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Isn't the problem because here is that lack of knowledge, lack of culture as well? You know what I'm saying? Rather than back home where it's just in our way of life. That's the reason why you don't see it back home.
With that,
you know what I'm saying?
So I definitely like that is definitely true. There are ways, like for me, I like to live a simple life. There are ways to like eat carbohydrates and get a reduced spike in your insulin levels.
You know, the point I'm trying to say is that with anything, if you eat it properly.
Hi guys.
So I definitely
Hi.
that is definitely true. There
Who's
are
that?
ways.
How did you manage to
I
do
don't
this?
know.
Yeah, carry on.
Okay, yes. with any sort of diet though, yeah. If it's not done in balance, so you're gonna have problems.
Yes, and you see, this is my thing because I fully agree with that. If it's not done in balance, however, the governments and all these big companies have tricked us into thinking.
Oh, hello, hi.
Okay, yes.
Sorry, are you on Discord?
If it's not done in balance, so you're gonna have problems.
Can you put us? Can you turn us down in the background, please?
This is my
Yeah,
thing
but they're not
because I
talking.
fully agree
They're
with
not talking consistently.
Yeah, but what was I saying? Yeah, so I believe in balance. These things are good. However, we don't know what balance is anymore because like there are all these sayings about even like breakfast is the most important meal of the day. If you're watching this right now, I want you to put that into Google and find out who created that saying. I don't even want to say it.
Probably Kellogg's or something.
It was the man himself, Mr. Kellogg.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yes.
I guess, you know.
Yes,
That's
it was Mr.
I
Kellogg.
knew it
So
was
all these
cereal.
things, like we've been tricked into thinking what is a balanced diet and what is the right thing and what is healthy. Where, so like, yeah, 100%, I believe in balance, and then not even just that, but so what you were saying before about, am I trying to say that our ancestors from back home all these years have been eating wrong? No, I think they were eating correctly. They were eating the right foods and carbohydrates like yams and all these kind of things. Back then, the carb content was much lower. But now, as time has gone on, the food that was okay to eat back then is now bad for us and poisoning us.
Which I hear, because I do feel like times have changed, and obviously we're in an era of money, innit? Everything's about finances.
Yes.
So it's about the quickest way, the cheapest way. Do you know what I mean? Cutting all the corners and stuff. And by doing that, you're not gonna get the best quality product.
Yes.
So I understand that. Yeah, I just wouldn't ever be keto, but I hear you. I hear you. Bro.
Oh, and then there was also about the I think Esther, you mentioned portion control.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with portion control, when you're on the keto diet, your hormones are regulated. So when you eat glucose spike. Well, when you eat carbohydrates, you get a glucose spike, and then once you have a glucose spike, your body creates insulin to break it down, and insulin is the hormone in your body which allows you to store fat. And so basically, when you eat carbohydrates and glucose, it messes up with your hormones. When you stay away from the carbohydrates and you're not having these crazy insulin and glucose spikes, you naturally, so like with my coaching groups, I always actually tell people, eat as much food as you want. I push people to eat more food. As long as it's within the perimeters of keto, as long as it's the right food, eat as much as you want. Within the first 2 to 3 weeks, you will be telling me, I'm not hungry, I don't want to eat. Because naturally, your body, you're not going to be wanting to overeat, because overeating is not a thing that people do naturally. It really isn't. And also as well, if you look at all the animals on this planet, the only types of animals on this planet that have an excess body fat percentage of, I would say, 15 to 20%. So higher than that, naturally, are animals that use fat for insulation. So in the cold areas, or animals that that hibernate, like black bears. So they go and they eat carbs for like all summer so that they can sleep for 3 months. Or camels, because camels, when they eat, then they need to go on long safaris across the desert. So they need the fat to store for energy.
But is that really a good way to I get your point. I get your point, but is that really a good argument though? Kind of comparing us to the animals, because I could then say, well, look at apes and stuff. All they eat is greens and no meat and stuff like this. But to be vegan and be as strong as them.
No.
You know what I mean?
No, because I'm not saying we should go and copy the foods that every animal eats. What I'm saying is, as the animal that you are, when you eat the food that you are supposed to eat, you will not become fat. Now we are eating excess carbs that has led to extreme obesity rates.
Yeah.
Cut out the carbs and the weight literally falls off. It sheds off. I've got so many people I'm coaching. It's absolutely amazing.
You know,
2 minutes left, please. Thank you very much.
I fully get what you're saying there, but for me, I just feel like the weight will come off because you will stop eating the bad carbs. You know what I'm saying? Like, which is a lot of the stuff that you
What's
get
a bad carb?
Exactly.
Hi guys.
stuff that's all processed stuff. The
Let's
rice
let this
and-
person speak. Morning.
Morning. It's Abby calling.
Morning, hon. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Good, thank you, babe. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I was just listening to what Sally was saying, but I kind of disagree with kind of a lot of what he's saying. I get the basis, but I think you are not really stating the fact of how dangerous keto diet can also be. Like, obviously, it does work, but in the long term, personally, I don't think it's healthy at all. Like, essentially, what you're saying is cut carbs off. In the long term, you saying that as well, and I don't think actually realizing how it can actually affect people's body in the really wrong way, because obviously you will be in ketosis for a long time, but if you cut out carbs in the long time, your body won't be able to process it as it should either. So when you do it that, you've got more chances of then having like episode of like binge eating and that kind of stuff. So for me, I think it's a lot of like counterproductivity, and you're not really teaching people how to actually eat. You're just telling them that actually you need to cut a full group of like food out of your diet, essentially.
Yes, this is what I'm saying. And with what you've said, like a lot of people often use this argument of cutting out a whole food group of your diet is dangerous and all these kind of things. But
What it really is actually, even especially for women as well. I think, especially like you as a trainer, you're saying to people, you're coaching them on doing that. But
in fact,
actually,
wait,
if you open
I
up
want
that
to
kind
stop
of
you
thing-
there. I am not a personal trainer. That's actually the name. You can find me on Instagram. I think it's not a personal trainer. NAPT Health.
So if you're not,
NAPT
Do you know what's so
Trainer,
interesting
you
though? Because I was about
actually
to ask, what makes
advice.
you qualified though to actually do what you're doing?
Listen, that's
No,
why
no,
I put
it's
it in the name.
No, but it's
These
a
are my
question.
experience, these are my qualifications.
Generally, because and this is one issue I have with. Thank you for even mentioning that, Abby, because one issue I have with social media, is like loads of people love to give unsolicited and unqualified advice, especially
Which
when it
is
comes
what
to
it is,
people's health.
essentially.
Right? Not you. I'm not even aiming at you, but even trainers, right?
Yeah.
Because what I find so interesting is just because you have managed to get results for yourself, doesn't necessarily mean that you now need to be a personal trainer and start selling plans, especially when it comes to because there's a lot of guys that I speak to, male personal trainers who have no idea about women's bodies, women's hormones, things that impact women, PCOS, endometriosis, all these things,
And PCOS, endometriosis, keto, they actually use the ketogenic diet to cure these diseases, by the way.
I
but
know
please
that
continue.
you're saying that because you're saying that it will help
Oh,
insulin
no,
resistance.
you can do the research. It's
But
people
but
are
also-
using the
Wait,
ketogenic
sorry.
diet to cure PCOS and endometriosis. But
Sorry,
yeah,
Abby.
please continue.
Yeah, go on, Abby. Sorry.
I know you're saying that because obviously it does help with insulin resistance, but the fact of the matter is we still are humans and we still do actually need carbs, especially as
No,
women.
we don't
So-
need carbs. We don't need carbs. And the
Well,
reason
let
we
him
don't
finish
need
your
carbs.
point.
Oh, sorry.
Otherwise,
I
it's going to
mean-
be
You again, you don't need it because your body can process food differently, but actually you still are human. You still are craving food and normal food. So essentially you're saying that actually for the sake of X and Y, let's prevent ourselves from that food, which really is going to cause eating disorders. And you're not speaking on that specifically is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm in the gym and I train with like a lot of people that go to gym and stuff. And I used to know actually someone that's done keto for like at least like 10 years. And when we'd go to the gym and stuff, he'd always be like in the evening talking about how he can't have carbs because he's doing keto and stuff. And obviously the results from it are great and he does feel great, but then he'd have like binge eating episodes. And then the day after he'd come back to the gym saying how he's done like X hours of cardio just to burn that off kind of thing is what I'm talking about really. You're not speaking about the fact that actually in the long term, taking that out of your diet is actually detrimental.
We live in a society where there's temptations everywhere. So with what you've just said, it's similar to saying if if you're trying to stay away from smoking cigarettes, but they sell cigarettes everywhere, then people fall into smoking cigarettes sometimes, and then when they do, they binge smoke cigarettes.
You
Just
can't
because,
compare
wait,
food
let me.
to cigarette. That's
100%.
two different things.
100%. I will compare food to cigarettes because the food, the carbohydrates, is currently killing double the amounts of people every single year that smoking does. So, in fact, I think it is much
It's the way
much
people
larger
eat,
killer.
though, which is the issue, not the actual food. Again, you've spoken a lot about processed carbs and stuff, which is fair
No.
enough.
I'm not
However,
speaking about
can I please
processed carbs.
finish?
I'm talking about
one second,
carbs. I
sorry.
just want to be clear. I'm not specifically talking about
Can
processed
you
carbs. I'm also
stop cutting me
including
off?
potatoes and everything else. So let's get that
Yeah,
straight.
but these are whole foods then. So actually, these are actually good for you.
No,
So aside from
because
the processed food, actual carbs is actually good for you. And you saying that actually it's not, but eating actual whole food like sweet potatoes, like normal potatoes, like yams, like that kind of thing, because obviously we're talking about like cultured food as well, is actually good for you.
this is why
This is the last thing you're saying, and Abby's gonna have a last word, and then I'm going to move on to the next section.
Okay. This is why I'm saying we have been tricked, because you can actually right now go and do the research. Yes, we think, oh, because it's a whole food, it's good for us. No, you can actually go and research what the whole food is actually supposed to look like and what they look like now. Through hundreds of years of genetic modification and selective breeding, we have created a new strain of whole foods, which is very, very poisonous, and it spikes our insulin and glucose levels far way too high than it should. Just like how we've created over the years dogs, like in dogs, there was one breed of dog. And over the years, we've created sausage dogs, we've created pugs, we've created all these dogs that have developed severe health conditions because they're not actually supposed to look like that. They're freaks of nature. So just the same way a sausage dog is a freak of nature is the same. And when you think about it in the sense of dogs, we can see it very clearly because we can literally see, oh, that dog is not supposed to look like that. Same way apples are not supposed to taste like that. They're not supposed to be that size. Watermelons aren't supposed to be that size. They're not supposed to be that sweet. Do not fall into the trap of thinking that, oh, just because it's a whole food, it's fine, because that is exactly what the shops and the big food companies want you to think.
Thank you. And Abby, last words?
Yeah, no, I hear what he's saying, but I do think you're pushing a lot towards restrictive eating actually and eating disorder really, because I hear what you're saying with the whole food and whatever, but to me it sounds a lot like the same rhetoric that like AJ Abbey was coming out with, and I said some of it is right, but at the same time, cutting a full group out of your diet is actually not good for you in the long term, especially again if you're a woman and you think about your hormones, that kind of thing in the long term isn't going to be good for you. And at the end of the day, we are where we are. Like, are we supposed to starve ourselves because the world has made food toxic? Everything is toxic anyways. So at the end of the day, we still have to eat. It just depends what kind of things you eat. You've got to obviously do your own research, but saying, oh, like do keto for the rest of your life is not sustainable at all, in my opinion.
Thank you very much.
Oh, wait,
Abby.
I'd just like to finish with,
Excuse me?
guys, I just want to say that I could talk about this all day, every single day. And
we
if
know.
people would like some more information on Instagram, my handle is NAPT, so not a personal trainer, napt.health. And on TikTok, it is not.a.pt. Yes.
Thank you very
Come
much.
and find me.
Abby, thank you. I hope you have a fantastic morning.
Thanks,
Please
Abby,
stay tuned
babes.
in.
Thanks.
Thank
Whilst
you.
it is
Have a
that you guys
fantastic day.
were back and forth, Belle sent me a message saying that
Big up,
when
Belle.
she's in next, she's going to insist that I invite Sally so she can basically
That would be good.
brush you down in real time.
That would be lovely.
Lovely.
I welcome
Big
the
up, Belle.
challenge.
There's no challenge. All right, next headlines, please.
All right, people. Next set of headlines. So, trigger one on this one. According to a new report by Physicians for Human Rights Israel, PHRI, Israel has systematically targeted Palestinian healthcare workers in Gaza, arbitrarily detaining them without charge or access to legal counsel and submitting them to torture and abuse. Between July and December, lawyers working with the Israeli non-profit group said that they visited over 24 Palestinian medical workers, including physicians, nurses, and paramedics aged between at least 21 and 69, who had spent more than 6 months in isolation after having been seized by Israeli forces. In a 21-page report released on Wednesday, the PHRI said that the testimonies from healthcare personnel indicate that their arrests were primarily used by Israel to gather intelligence rather than investigate their alleged involvement in armed conflict or link them to criminal activities. Next headline, and the documentary that we spoke about yesterday, Gaza, How to Survive a War Zone, was pulled back from iPlayer last week after it emerged. Its 13-year-old narrator was the son of a Hamas official. It said it had no plans to broadcast the program again in its current form or return it to iPlayer. That's what BBC is saying. Hoyo Films, which is the production company that made the documentary for the BBC, said it felt it was important to hear from voices that haven't been represented on screen throughout the war with dignity and respect. It also launched a review into the film, and the BBC's board met earlier on Thursday to discuss it. In the statement, a BBC spokesperson said that both the production company and the BBC had made unacceptable flaws and that it takes full responsibility for these and the impact that these have had on the corporation's reputation. It added that the BBC had not been informed of the teenager's family connection in advance by the film productions company. And our last headline, another trigger warning in fact, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has said that Andrew and Tristan Tate are not welcome in the state as the brothers' plane landed from Romania. He said this at a press conference. He said, "No, Florida is not a place where you're welcome with that type of conduct." He also added, "Our Attorney General, James Uffmeyer, is looking into what state hooks and jurisdictions we have to deal with. This." DeSantis said he was not aware that they were landed in the state and that he found out through the media. Speaking after his plane landed, Tate said he is innocent until proven guilty and that he has not been convicted of any crimes. An official confirmed that prosecutors lifted their travel ban, and it's understood that after they left the country shortly after 5 a.m. Local time, that's basically, when they left. Last part is the controversial influencer who's 38 and his sibling, Tristan, who's 36, are facing a series of criminal charges in the country, including rape, human trafficking, and exploiting women. And that's it for the headlines. Time to pay them bills.
All right, let's get some quick road on road. All right, as we shared earlier, the actress Michelle Trachtenberg, I believe, sadly passed away. She was aged 39. But you know what's crazy? Because every time young celebrities pass away, there's always a conversation about being kind. So she recently talked about how people were judging her appearance and all that kind of stuff. The poor girl had a liver transplant. And obviously her body was like, do you know what I mean? She was ill. So it's just so sad that every single time there has to be some kind of lecture that people don't listen to about people who are, like, about judging celebrities' appearances and just making these crazy comments to them all the time when the whole time they're dealing with things. But anyways, Blake Lively, who she did Gossip Girl with, shared a tribute, and she said, "This is the first day I met Michelle." She had a picture up of them and said, "This is the first day I met Michelle. She was electricity. You knew when she entered the room because the vibration changed. Everything she did 200%. She laughed the fullest at someone's joke. She faced authority head on when she felt something was wrong. She cared deeply about her work. She was proud to be a part of this community and industry, as painful as it could be sometimes." She went on to say she was a kind person through and through, and that she will not take for granted. She loves her deeply and misses her, of course. So R.I.P. to the babe. Secondly, Karen Huger, who is one of the cast members of Real Housewives of Potomac, has been sentenced. She's in jail. Do you know what? Rightfully so. You can't go around, especially as someone who has the means. But there's a lot of conspiracy around who was driving the car, who wasn't driving the car, whatever. And so basically, context, she basically got a DUI charge. I said fourth one. This grandmother. This is her fourth one, apparently. So she deserves the jail time. I have no empathy, none for her. Because drunk people like that, they do what they do and then get into accidents. And annoyingly, they're never the ones that die. It's always the innocent person that's on the motorway, innocent person that's just walking by or whatever that ends up dying. Stop drinking and driving. Anyways, so she got a DUI charge. The body cam footage is horrible. It's absolutely nothing short of embarrassing. She told the police officer when she was being driven to the police station that she is it Thomas Jefferson? She's his concubine's child or something like that. She's asked the police if he's got white privilege. It's a bunch of nonsense she was doing. But anyways, so that's what happened. And then what's so irritating and annoying about it as well is that at the time this happened, it was reported that she had a car crash because she did crash her car. She was online acting like a victim. Like, oh yeah, thank you. Like, acting like a victim the whole time you know that you have been booked for a DUI and you're going to have to go to court and all these things. Also, I remember she was, I think she had a deal she could have taken. But no, she wanted to go to court and fight it. Well, she's going to have to fight in jail. Cut long story short, she's basically been sentenced for 2 years, but she's got 1 year suspended sentence and she has to spend 1 year in jail. And then she's also got to be on probation, I believe, for 5 years as well. It's just embarrassing. And I think for the role that she plays on the Real Housewives show, where it's like, I'm the godmother, I'm the head hen. Do you get me? Like, I'm this responsible adult and I will give people advice and do this. And it's just like, girl, you're a damn mess. And I'm sorry. I know she lost her mum and whatnot, but grief is not a reason to put other people's lives at risk. Now she's got to leave her poor husband, Ray, who's an old man, might I add, by himself. But anyway, that's what's happening with her. She's going to jail for a year. And then lastly, Issa Rae has a film and it's already been in cinemas in America. I've heard really, really good reviews about it. I've got time for Issa Rae any day. But basically, she's got a film and it's got Keke Palmer in it. It's got One of Them Days. It's got Keke Palmer in it and it's got SZA. So I guess it's SZA's, I think this is her first acting role, actually. And apparently she did really well. Cut long story short, I haven't wondered when I was going to watch it, but wonder no more. It's coming to the UK next week. March the 7th. It's going to be in our UK cinemas. I know, I'm really excited.
Oh no, sorry, that's my birthday.
Is that? Oh, happy birthday for then. How old are you gonna be?
26.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, wise beyond your years. That's good. So the film is going to be in the UK cinemas on the 7th of March. So check it out. Support Issa Rae so she can keep bringing good things over here. And that's it for me. Very quick and brief today. Are we doing a People's Journal?
Nope.
Okay, we're doing Asking for a Friend?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Let's get into it. Over to you. Oh, you busy? Do you want me to read?
Sorry.
It's okay, babe.
Sorry, edit something. Sorry.
It's all right.
I'm in the room. All right. So my mum is stressing me out in more ways than one. A while ago, my siblings and I sent my mum on a solo trip to Jamaica and we booked her to stay in a nice 5-star resort. Recently, my siblings, mum and I have had a family holiday and we all went to the same hotel we booked for my mum. To our surprise, it turns out that apparently the hotel we booked had a nudist part to it. And my mum didn't tell us because she forgot and apparently it wasn't important to mention. Come to find out, a lot of staff that worked at that hotel were still there when we came and they remembered her. They kept calling my mum Libby, which is a nickname for libido, because apparently my mum the year before, when she went on her solo trip, she was really sexually active and she got a reputation. It made me feel so uncomfortable because that's not even the worst bit. Since we've come back, she's turned basically into a full-time nudist at home and doesn't even dress up properly when guests come over. I've had to drop out a lot of my friends because they just come over to pervert my mum. I've told my mum I don't like it and I'm going to move out, but she says being nude is freeing. And also she's really eager on me staying in the home because I'm the last born and she doesn't want me to leave her alone. How will you handle this? This is from a young man, age 25.
Do you know what it is? I think sometimes that people don't. I think when you go, looking at your parents, sometimes you forget that they're
Human.
They're humans and they have their own life experiences. They have their own beliefs. Like their entire identity does not revolve around being a parent to you. And your mum just sounds like she's living her best life. There's nothing wrong with your mum being. Libby is wild. I mean, them calling her that. But if it is that auntie wants to sexually explore whatever she's doing, like that's not. You can't have a conversation with her about that. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, this is how she's living. That's her life. Do you have a conversation with your dad slinging dick? I bet you don't. It's just how it happens. I think what you could do though is just let her know that when you just just speak to her and say, I understand I live in your house and blah, 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 blah. However, though, not everyone is familiar with your religion. So, as such, if we've got guests and whatnot, do you mind either staying away or putting your clothes on? Do you know what I mean? Like, not everybody is familiar with the nudist religion. Is it religion or culture? I think it's religion.
It's not a religion, I think.
It's a
way
practice,
of life.
child.
Or it's a practice.
It's a practice.
They're practicing.
They're religious
They're
with their
practicing
nudity.
something.
But I feel like it's just that conversation of just saying that when she's around, when you're gonna have guests over, and you will let her know before. Don't have friends just pop up out of nowhere, and you let her know. And does she mind just compromising with that with you? But other than that, I'm sorry, but your mum going on a solo trip and living her best life on there, I have no advice for that. That's above my pay grade, child.
Yeah, I think it is what it is. Like, let her know that you're. Well, obviously, she probably knows that you're uncomfortable with it at this point. So, yeah, just have a conversation with her, and it doesn't even need to be any hard feelings. Just be like, okay, I understand you're on this path, and this is how you want to do your thing. Because right now, I'm sure there are things in your life that maybe she doesn't approve of. But at the end of the day, if you want to continue living there under the same roof with her, and that's what she likes, then that's just it. But you do need to have a conversation with her and say, okay, if I'm going to continue staying here, please respect my wishes, and when we have visitors around, at least please cover up.
Especially because she wants him to stay.
Yeah.
So then tell her,
exactly.
if you want him to stay,
exactly.
put him titties away. Otherwise, I got to go.
No, because I think also it's you respecting her boundary and she's respecting yours. Because
Exactly.
Like, at 25, I don't want to see your tits, babe. Like,
I don't want to see your tits at any age.
I genuinely don't.
Like,
no,
ma'am.
but do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't want to see your tits. Like, put it away, babe.
Put away, love.
Yeah, so I think even that, like,
Yeah, man.
good luck to all parties involved. Boy.
Yep. Next one.
All right, next. So this is from someone unknown, age unknown. There's someone I'm super interested in and intrigued by. I would like it to be more at some point. However, I'm not sure how to go about that, and I'm kind of scared as I feel the connection is super strong, and I don't want to lose that as I haven't felt anything like it before. Hold on.
Oh, yeah, I get you. Okay. I think that it just stops. It ends at before.
That's what it's. Sorry, I had to read something in silence.
Yeah, it ends before.
So, yeah,
y'all
that's
know
it.
what my vibe is.
Shoot your shot.
Shoot your shot, man. Shoot your shot, or you miss every shot you don't take. That's a word.
Closed mouths don't get fed.
That's another word. So, there you go. Yeah, there you go.
All right, next one. Hey guys, loving today's episodes. Is that today's
That was
one?
me yesterday.
Oh.
So,
I'm working from home today. Now
Maybe
for
today.
my dilemma. My mum and aunties are convincing me to get back with my ex for the sake of the kids. They've been banging on about it for so long that I'm starting to even consider it, but he violated me so much. Long story short, he cheated on me. He pretended to be mentally ill and said he was going abroad for a high quality treatment, but he was just cheating. Sister, I don't even want to read the rest.
honestly,
Yeah, when I confronted
Open
him
a
and
closed case.
asked why he did it, he said that us having sex often stressed him out so much that he needed a break by having more sex with other women to get away from all the sex we were having. He's so toxic and it's unreal, but I actually married him. We've been separated for nearly a year now and going through a divorce. We've got 2 kids, aged 7 and 5. My Ghanaian mum and her friends are not happy at this though and haven't been. They believe men will be men and divorce isn't in our culture and I should get back with him for the sake of the kids. If the ladies can chip in to help me with this. Sister, I'm not even going to read the end yet.
Don't do it.
Don't bother.
Don't listen
You
to
see
them.
one thing I can't stand about our community and
I
our
can't
culture?
stand
I don't believe in sticking around for the sake of the kids. Fuck the kids. How about that?
twice.
Wait.
Literally.
He
'cause
pretended
he
to
pretended
be
to be mentally ill.
around the kids.
No, but-
so
no,
what?
but- no, but do you know
Around
what
the
it is,
dinner table,
yeah?
he's doing.
Do you know what's mad? Yeah, he's twitching. Do you know what's crazy is that he said that, yeah, and then when I've then caught you cheating, I've asked, so why are you cheating? And you said, oh, we're having too much sex, so I went to cheat so I can have so much sex to relieve me
But you
from
did
all the
say
sex
life is
that
all
we've been
about
having.
balance.
That's still mad. Sister, listen, yeah, I don't. You're Gina. I'm with you on that. I can't stand the way the old generation.
It's so
they're just so
annoying.
desperate and gagging for
Literally.
men. Such people, such pick-me's that they would tell you to literally ignore your health, ignore your livelihood, ignore your life, ignore your mental health, just to say that you got a man. This is just your mum's and her friends' bragging rights. Just to say, oh, they've been married for da. Sister, as you started that divorce, may it continue to a full successful end. And you will find, if that's what you want, you will find another man that has sense and that will be very present and will be a great stepfather for your children and a great husband to you. Please do not listen to these aunties that are miserable in their marriages. Don't, no. Just tell them I don't want to talk about it with you anymore. Or just say no. Yeah. Don't even listen to them. If there's talk, just literally just air it. Let them, when they're tired, at some point they will shut up. Please, please, please do not go back to that sicko. Please don't. Don't do it. I love the way you love yourself. Keep loving yourself.
Don't go back. Yeah, don't go back to that, man.
Mentally
He went above and beyond. He was pretending to be mentally ill.
You know what? That's a man. You know,
That's sad.
You
That's
see, like,
horrible.
Can I be honest? You see stuff, and I bet he's Ghanaian as well, isn't it? He's Ghanaian, isn't it? Because he's a fucking coward. Sorry, he's a freaking coward. I hate stuff like that.
Is?
Oh my gosh,
dear.
I'm so triggered.
You left
because
her
you're a
worried
freaking
when she's got
coward.
2 kids.
You don't want to lie and say that you're a coward. You're a
What a
loser.
mug.
And I know I'm disrespecting the father of your child here, but rightly so, bruv. He's literally.
Not Brent.
I'm livid. He claims mental illness.
Do you know how mad that
that's
is?
crazy.
And said he was going for treatment.
That is crazy.
go and
Do you know what's so mad, yeah? Because maybe that's not even what's spinning me.
Bro.
Because maybe he was mentally ill at the time he claimed mentally ill. It's not fair. Is the fact that when I've asked you, like, this is the best you can come up with? The best you come up with for why you cheated on me was that we have so much sex. So you went to have more sex to relieve yourself of all the sex that we have.
To balance it out. Nah. I
Be
think
honest,
sometimes
you know
people just
what?
open them up
You
and
know,
start talking.
I would have beat him up. Like legit, legit. You see stuff like that, yeah. That level of disrespect, I can't contain.
I can't do
I'm
it.
putting hands on you. I'm so sorry.
I can't
Entertainment purposes, of course.
Absolutely. Not those hands. She's putting a hand to a pen to a letter and she's writing you how horrible you did.
No, because what?
Sister, you are doing the
Mental
right
illness.
thing. Please.
You know what? You'll be mentally
be
ill.
ill.
You'll be mentally ill.
How do you
By
know?
the time I finish with
By the
you,
time I deal with you,
you'll be mentally ill.
Allegedly.
That
you
one
will see
there.
mental illness will run. What cheek? Well done,
That
girl.
is creative.
Stand up for
though.
yourself, please.
I think he needs to start writing.
He needs deliverance.
He needs to start writing books, shows, creating stories because
Tell his mother to
he should be
take him to a
content
church.
creator. What the hell?
What a
How
cheek.
do you get that? How do you get there? That's impressive.
1 + 1 got him 21.
Yeah.
That's dead.
6. No, he got him cheese.
Got him sex.
Boy,
Next one.
Last one, please, because I need to reduce my cortisol level.
Girl.
Right, my girl has come back from a month-long stay with my mother in Oxford. Her mum, who have...
Is this a guy?
Yeah, looks like it, but her mum, who I have a long...
Her mum
Yeah.
who-
Bravo.
who I have a love-hate relationship with,
Okay.
was ill, but she's better now, though.
Okay.
We've been together since year 10, and he's 25 now, so 10 years. And the mum didn't like me at first because she thought I wasn't good enough for her daughter, but she's warmed up to me recently. Anyway, that's besides the point. I want to tell my girl she's less attractive now because she's gained a lot of weight. She must have ate a lot when she took care of her mum because, geez Louise, she's massive.
Do you know what it sounds like? That
She needs
episode of
to
My
join
Wife and
keto?
Kids.
What, is it Claire?
There was Jay. Remember when I think she actually went to have a kid in real life, and then as in Tisha Campbell, and she came back, and Michael didn't know how to tell her that she'd
put
put on
on
weight, but the storyline was that she went to take care of her mum.
Oh. I'm not body shaming. I love big girls. Big up Alison
don't love her,
Hammond
though.
and that. But I don't like massive drastic changes, especially so suddenly. I don't know if this could be a potential deal breaker because I'm losing my physical attraction to her and I really, 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 really don't want to tell her about her weight. What do I do? Am I screwed?
I've got the perfect solution.
No.
Hear me out. Let me land. You tell her that, well...
It's the fact that everyone even said it. Tell her to go on keto.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, tell her that you're going to be joining my keto group and it's something that you want the whole household to get on board with
Household of
because...
two.
Oh, knock it off.
No, because you are scared of everyone in the house developing type 2 diabetes later on. So when you say that, then everyone gets on the diet and then problem solved. Finished.
Now she's catching
Shout
in the
me.
bathroom eating a burger.
napt.health on Instagram and not.a.pt on TikTok.
I know
Shout
you're
me.
lying.
We'll sort it out.
I know you like. Do you know what it is? I think just so here's my thoughts. Who was I telling this yesterday? Or my manicurist. And I was saying how I don't understand how sometimes, like, okay, this is me. This is my exchange rate, right? In no world can I be having sex with somebody, as in you see me naked, and I can't tell you certain things. Do you get what I mean? Like, it just doesn't. Because for me, that's the most intimate thing you can see about me, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? But I think you should just tell her.
If you really care about
I think just tell her,
her,
yeah, just say, oh, like your body, like, just, I think have a conversation about health with her and just have a conversation about what, like, being at her mum's was like for her, because you assuming that it was just eating, it might have been stress. She might be putting on weight because of stress. So don't assume that it's because she's greedy or whatever, or you just think she's a big bag. Just, like, I think have a conversation with her about how staying at her mum's was and all that. And I think from that, you'll be able to gauge what, like, all of that stuff. And then tell her that. Because if I was putting on weight, I guess the way I think about weight and stuff like that, I don't want my man to tell me. If I felt like I was putting on weight. And I can tell you whether I'm happy like this or whether I want to do something about it.
Yeah.
But I don't think you should go in telling her you're less attracted to her. That's tough.
and
Tough as heck.
it's with difficult conversations like this, when you need to have a difficult conversation with someone, it doesn't get easier the longer you take it. It just gets worse. It just
Because
gets
like, you've been
worse.
stewing on this.
Yeah. And then it could even get to the point where now she actually starts developing health problems, and then now you've actually got a problem in the household. Like she's unable to do certain things. Just it's not going to be fun. It's not
But
going
you know
to
what it is
be
as well? Because even with what you said, there's that as well. But also, because he's thinking about it so much, subconsciously he can start treating her like he's not that attracted to her.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? So it's better to have the conversation earlier than later. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think, but don't lead into it, letting her know that you don't like it or you're less attracted to it.
Yeah.
Find out what's been going on in her life in general, whatever, and then also just let her know that you've made this observation and how is she feeling about herself. Because if she's content with it, then you have to figure out whether that's something that that's an attractiveness that you can now get on board with or not. Do you get what I mean? But I don't think that, if you're saying as well you like plus size women or bigger women or whatever the case is,
I
then
think
this
he's lying.
shouldn't
He's
really
lying
be.
about that.
Yeah,
He's
because I
lying
don't know
about
what
that
you're
because
talking
he wouldn't
about.
have written. He wouldn't
I was
have
about,
written.
like, you should be happy then.
No, but it's a big change, though, isn't it? Like,
No, I don't think she went from like a size 6 to like a 54.
maybe an 18.
I was thinking 24 to be fair. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't say you like, this is my thing when people say I like this. You don't.
Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah,
you
'cause
like
then
it
you
when
are
you see other
typing
people
dilemma.
That's
and
it.
you want to
You like
drop
it.
inspirational
You know,
Instagram
you know,
comments.
he only said, he's got nothing against big girls to soften the blow to
Yeah,
make us see
yeah,
that he's
yeah.
not fat phobic. It was never that deep. You didn't even have to do that.
You didn't have to,
yeah.
babes.
I think everybody is. If you can't tell your partner, then I think that in itself is a problem. Like,
Yeah,
I think being
word.
in a relationship with someone, you lot have been together for 10 years as well. Like, you should be comfortable enough to be honest
Say
about
anything,
something. I
yeah.
think it's just your delivery and you being mindful not to hurt her feelings and approaching it in a sensitive manner. But I don't think there's anything wrong with saying it. If I was in a relationship and I put on weight, I want you to tell me that I've put on weight. Do you get what I mean?
But where it's so obvious, he knows that she knows. You know what I'm saying? So maybe I think this is why he's trying to be a bit careful about it. Plus, he cares. That's why he doesn't want to hurt her feelings.
And that's
You
it.
know what I'm
And
saying?
and
Nah,
you,
but-
get,
but
you
some-
get compliments for that, but
No, but then difficult
with
conversation.
it.
Like, okay, sometimes people's feelings, like, if someone is like doing something which is wrong, you need to tell them.
It's about your
But
delivery,
because
though.
what? And then you're just going to walk around until, and then what?
and
She
then
drops
between her
it. She
some
dies
kind of
an early
way.
death.
It's all about your. I feel like when it comes to having difficult conversations, it's all about the delivery and intention. If
And
you're
yeah.
going to talk to her, make her feel like she's not beautiful, make her feel less than a human being, then it will never be a great conversation. But if you're going in there with concern and just, like, I've noticed that, and if she's someone as well that you knew that took care of herself and cared about these things, it's just like, like, I just wanted to, just have a conversation about these things. Ed asked, how do ladies want to be told about their weight? Honestly, just be honest with me. Again, I told you that my exchange rate, you can't see me naked. I kind of shared that with you, and then you're struggling to tell me, hey, girl, do you know what I mean? I just think I feel like the more you think about it, like Saleh said, it just gets worse. But also, I feel like conversations are bigger and more dramatic in your head than when you do have it in real life. It's a big thing in your head, but as soon as you have the conversation, it's not that.
Yeah,
And again,
yeah.
because like Gina said, you guys have been together for like 10 years. I don't think you're going to be met with animosity if you don't give her animosity to begin with. Do you get what I mean? But let us know how you do it so we can give other people tips. But good luck, babes. Thank you very much.
Approach with compassion.
Yeah, exactly. Last headlines?
Yep. impose an additional 10% tariff on imports from China and press ahead with levies on Mexico and Canada from next week, raising the spectre of a global trade war. So the president had halted his proposed tariffs into Mexico and Canada earlier this month, just hours before they were due to begin, giving the US's two biggest trading partners a month-long reprieve, right? But in a post on Truth Social yesterday, Trump wrote, the proposed tariffs scheduled to go into effect on March 4th will indeed go into effect as scheduled. The president added that he also planned to hit China with an additional 10% levy on March 4th on top of the 10% tariffs that he imposed this month. Trump said that his plan for sweeping reciprocal tariffs unveiled this month and affecting countries and products around the world would go ahead as planned on April 2nd. Now, last headline. On Thursday, the UK Health Security Agency warned lab reports of the virus, which can cause nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea at their highest ever levels. There's an exceptionally high number of cases at the moment. This is what Amy Douglas said, who's the lead epidemiologist at the UK HSA. And new NHS figures also show that the number of beds taken up by patients with this virus, by the way, is a norovirus, the second norovirus, right? It's nearly 150% higher than it last year. Health officials believe that a certain norovirus strain could be driving up cases, as people who have been previously infected may not have immunity. This also means that people who have recently been ill with norovirus are at risk of catching it again. The less common strain now represents 29% of cases compared to just 10% 3 months ago. And that's it for the headlines. Time to pay them bills.
All right, are we wrap it? Is there a reaction?
There's a wrap up. What are you talking about?
Let's wrap it up. My bad.
All right, people. It's been an amazing show. Today, we spoke about the king and how he invited Trump for an unprecedented second state visit. We also spoke about the BBC looking to Estelle Prison, basically in Texas, and looking for some ideas, basically, to reduce reoffending and bring down prisoner numbers in already crowded jails. We also, for our topic of the day, spoke about the fitness industry and whether it's whitewashing our diets. Should we include, cultural foods, or maybe, I don't know, switch up a bit. We also spoke about the rights groups in Israel, which has basically said that Israel has systematically abused Palestinian health workers for their profession. We also spoke about the Tate brothers not being welcome in Florida, and how the BBC review found that there were serious flaws in the overall Gaza documentary that they put out, hence them, removing it from iPlayer. And we also spoke about the tariffs that Donald Trump promised to impose on China, Mexico, Canada. They will be back basically from next week. Increased amount as well. And of course, the norovirus, the second wave, which has hit the UK. Guys, be careful out there. Some of the symptoms, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and they're at the highest levels ever. So be careful out there.
And a lot of people have been talking about when they talk about picking up something from the gym.
Probably.
Might be,
Probably, yeah. And that is pretty much it.
All right, people, please don't forget to subscribe. We are on the road to 6K.
On the road.
Thank you. You never disappoint me. So please like the video as well. And everyone take care of yourselves. Wrap up warm. Thank you, Saleh, as always, for coming back.
It's my pleasure.
By the grace of God, next time you come, our lovely Bells will be here as well. That'll be fun. But yeah, guys, have a great weekend and God bless. And we'll see you on Monday.
Just before we go, where can you find you again, Saleh?
Oh, so on Instagram.
NPT,
No.
this and this.
So NAPT.health
.uk.
on Instagram, and then on TikTok it is not.a.pt.
Say, because it's not a PT,
I'm
okay?
not a PT. I am a coach, and we get results.
All right.
Yes.
That'll do it. Goodbye, people.
Peace.
Take care, everyone.